Hello, everyone. My name is Josh. Our project is Shift, and I am a U.S. Army veteran.
Oh, John, we can't hear you.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. My name is Ho Jong Yu. I'm also Army veteran.
I'm Dan Azor, and I'm an Air Force veteran.
Okay, and just a quick intro on this project. So a friend of mine is actually a med school student who is the liaison for a hospital and the medical school. And whenever the hospital creates events that they need medical students to work for and work events, they tell her and she assigns them manually. Actually, she was sending a Google Forms and then using an Excel spreadsheet to assign these medical students to these events. And she actually asked me if I can make an app. And with the help of my teammates here, we created a process to automate this manual, tedious task. And yeah, that's, I'm gonna hand it off to Hojong to show the functionality of our.
Yeah, so I'm going to demonstrate a functionality of our application. So like Josh said, our application will automatically assign volunteers to the specific activities once volunteers fill out the form. So this is the form that they're to see. So how it works is once hospital send out a mass email to the volunteers, they will receive an email containing a link to this volunteer form so that they can fill out their availability information with activity they're willing to participate in. So let's create one for the volunteers. Let's put my name. So it's going to be filled out top to bottom. Here it will be M3 would represent like a medical student for third grade. And this is just for them to recognize how long the volunteer will stay in Chicago or the hospital goes a night. And this is a portion where they have to pick time, what day and what time they would like to participate for an activity. So for example, if they don't want to participate on the weekend, they can just click NA so that they won't be assigned to any time on the weekend. For this example, I'm just gonna allow them to available for all day on weekdays. And here's another activity portion. So if the volunteer only wants to participate for specific activities, for example, if this one only wants to volunteer for blood drive or clinic, they can pick one. And once they submit the form, they're going to only assign to this specific activity. And let's submit it. So once we have all the data from all our volunteers, now the hospital can create an event for the future, and all the volunteers will assign to the activities based off on their availability time. So let's create an event. So here we have like hard-coded name of the event, but we can also name of the event. So let's do mental health clinic. And we can also pick the day of the event. Let's do today. Actually, let's do on Monday. And then they also pick a time of the event. Let's do 1 a.m. to 9 p.m. And within the activities, they can be a multiple activities, and the activities can also be different time frames. So, for example, blood drive in clinic can be in a different time zone. So, for example, blood drive can be held on 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. only. Clinic will also can be 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then they can also assign number of volunteers needed for each activity. So for example, I can assign like only 2 volunteers needed for these activities. And I can also assign for clinic for like say for 3. And then they also can leave like instruction for the events. So say, please arrive on time. And once I create the event, this will be shown in the list, all the lists in the homepage. And once you click it, it will display all the activities that relate to the event. And you can see all the volunteers that are assigned to the specific activities. And that is most of all the functionality we have. And I'm going to pass down to Dan to show the stylings.
Yeah, so I was a late add to this project, but one of the benefits of it having a real life client with a laundry list of feature requests was that there was no shortage of things to do. I focused the time that we had on the UI experience. So I used Material UI, and then essentially the whole process was wrapping all of what was happening on the website functionality wise into a theme. And that theme, shows up in what you see in the, in the forms, in the display of events, but also the header. And so in the header right now, you see, a dark mode button. So you could click dark mode, for instance, and it carries across that theme across the whole website. So and it persists to it's saved in local storage, essentially what your preference is. And when you go away from it and come back, you can actually, it preserves that state. It also has like some nifty things, like in the badge of the name, it has their their first initial and like a pulsing badge to say that they're online. And then also, if you log out, then you actually can't see the create event in the header anymore. So and similarly, once you've logged in, then you can see that back again, obviously. So the idea is that you don't need to technically be logged in to sign up as a volunteer. And I believe that's it. I'm going to pass it back to Josh for the closing part. Also, if you could mention the email portion, that was really interesting too, as part of the functionality.
Yeah, sure. So actually the email portion is being revamped right now. About 3 days ago, we had some new requirements from the client because my contact shopped it over to the hospital and they wanted to change a bunch of stuff. So this is actually a pretty old version of our project, and we are in the process of changing up a lot of the functionality. But the email one is essentially an automated API through SendGrid that sends a message to them that allows them to confirm or reject a certain shift. That way we can know whether or not we're still waiting confirmation or if they are confirmed. But yeah, we decided not to implement it for right now because of all these changes that we are currently undergoing. And with that being said, also in the beginning, you saw the login page is just lorem ipsum. The reason for that is because the hospital is probably going to want to put their own logo and whatever they want on there. So a lot of stuff that we could have done is not being done pending the meeting with the people who want this product. And with that, I'd like to open it up to questions if there are any.
At this time, we'll take questions from Zoom chat or YouTube chat.
Oh yeah, I guess I should add that this could potentially be an employee shift management as well, hence the name shift, because for example, you have a restaurant with different types of employees and different types of shifts needed for that. And this could kind of be a transition to that if the road ends up taking us there.